All right. So, Ray, I actually did an extra receiver with Elijah Sarratt. So, I actually was hoping we could kind of blow off the 5-minute rule and you and I can actually just have a fun conversation about this. This was an extra bonus. And I know that you had said to me, this guy belongs to be in the conversation. That's why I did it. Because I said, all right, if Ray's thinking this, we can't just leave him out of the episode, right? Let's have a conversation. Elijah Sarratt, Indiana receiver, 6'2", 213 pounds, a 22-year-old senior, played in 40 games at Indiana, 64 receptions, 824 yards, and 15 touchdowns in 2025. On 366 receiving snaps, we saw an 86.1 PFF grade. Ray, let's run the film. Let's just have a good time talking about Elijah Sarratt.
All right, let's do it.
So first play, he's at the top of our screen here. And I did this one because I think this is a pretty true to what he's going to have to do at the NFL level, which is let's do deep comebacks and use your frame to get space, right? Let's get this guy off of me. Let's come back to the football and let's create space with my larger frame. What do you think about this?
Dude, I love it. So just the way he positions his body and really shifts his weight. I mean, right here at the top. So again, the defender's going to stay. Defender's trying to get chest to chest here, right, and kind of ride him out. He's going to use his strength and weight to just kind of lean into the defender and then decelerate here to give that nice window for Mendoza, who puts it on the money. Of course, this is why he's in the conversation for the number one pick. But it's just the nuance. He's not Terrell Owens physically, where he can just kind of run like a horse and is just built, 6'2", 220 plus and just kind of just physically dominates everyone else. No, but I mean, that is such high level quarterback friendly stuff here. Mm-hmm. I'm smitten with plays like this. And I didn't know which handful of plays you chose for Serat. So this is just, I've studied this game before, so I've seen this before, but like, I can't say enough about how quarterback friendly this is and how big of a fan I am of just the nuances of his route running like that and coming back to the football.
I wanted to call out as well. So when I played football in college, my coach would show us Oregon cornerback tape for us to learn from. These are the best cornerbacks, technically sound cornerbacks that there are, right? Like that's why I chose this game, because I wanted to show how somebody like this is treating some of the best cornerback talent in the world. So that's play one. Let's go ahead and go to play two. Here we are again, lined up really tight, a press coverage at the 20-yard line. And is this also going to be a trend? If you're not going 10 yards down the field or 20 yards down the field, are we going to have a bit of trouble separating?
Yeah, don't throw him a 4-yard hitch in tight coverage. No, I don't want you doing that with him because he doesn't have the opportunity to really. That's not his game. He's not a phone booth receiver. He will work in the phone booth down the field, but you gotta give him a chance to kind of square up here. This is almost like that Drew Aller play where they kind of just hit the tight end in the flat right away on like 3rd and 4, and it's like, just why? This one, I don't love. I mean, the look is just not what you want. I mean, it's tight press coverage here for a 4 or 5 yard hitch. I just don't love the play. I don't think he's really put in his position to succeed. But again, even so, he's still going to be physical. And if you're the quarterback here, you want this ball thrown low and away, given the leverage and positioning of the defender on this hitch. You don't want to throw it to the inside like he kind of does here. You see Serat kind of working back towards the corner here. That's not where you want the ball. I still think Serat does an okay job, as best as you could do in, 0.7 seconds on this hitch route here, to try to give the quarterback here some sort of window if it's thrown low into the outside as best he can. Instead, it's a little bit inside and it just leaves no chance. So I don't love the play. It's not what showcases what's best about him, but even so, I still think he did what he realistically could have done to try to make this work.
Absolutely. I think my fear, right, is, are we looking at a guy that's going to push that Mike Evans kind of play style and be that kind of a receiver? Or are we seeing somebody that has more J.J. Arcega-Whiteside in him, which is,
oh my gosh,
my athleticism is not going to translate at the next level with lateral speed that is needed. I don't know. Sometimes I see both, right? And I want to talk about it, and let's kind of play the tape. So this third play here, bottom of your screen, arrows on him. DB's kind of giving him space. He's walking away, showing a quarter zone. But then he comes up, it's man, and he still beats him across his face. I like this route, right? It shows body control, shows that extra skill and strength, and also a little bit of smarts, right? Let's get down. Let's get down, protect the football, and just kind of maintain the catch at the catch point.
Yeah, look, it's real simple. This is, again, quarterback friendly. I'm not going to waste any time. This backer is not dropping into the hook curl here to take away the inside. I'm just going to go to the space. That's what he does. Just quickly make myself available to my quarterback. If this cornerback wants to get cute and try to disguise what he's doing, okay, congratulations on your disguise. I already made my break, and now I beat you. You hooked my hip there, but whatever, still made the catch. He's a no-nonsense receiver. He doesn't have time for games. You want to play games, number 7, that's fine. I'm running my route. I'm getting into space because I see the space here, so I'm not going to waste any time, make myself available, first down. Why play games? Why play games?
No games played on this one. Go ahead. Let's go to the next one. Top of your screen, another tight press kind of coverage, showing, man, can I beat you with my size? This is what concerns me a bit, right? I think he was really hoping for a flag here. The guy really latches on at the catch point. I don't think they threw it. They should have, right? They probably should have thrown this one, but I still want to see you separate. I still want to see you be able to push, get a little space for yourself, use that big frame to box out. That's kind of where I'm standing.
Yeah, I think if I would change one thing here, it should have been a flag on Brandon Finney. But what I would change right here, so if I pause this right here, I get he's kind of going for the ball, but at the top of this route before here, use this inside hand to try to disengage or throw the defender by. Because if he still is holding onto you and grabbing onto you, and you are trying to throw him by, it's just going to be that much clearer of a tell for a hold to the ref, and you're going to get that call. I think he should have gotten it regardless, but if you can really just use that inside hand and just kind of show force and try to throw the defender by while he's latched onto you, then at that point, you're going to basically be tugged all the way to the ground forcefully, and they're going to have no choice but to throw a flag. So it should have been a flag regardless, but there are things he could have done better there.
Agreed. All right. So here we see him in a slot position off the line of scrimmage. Let's see what they do. Okay. They motion him out. Now he's the wide guy, still off the line of scrimmage. He's in space. It's just another quarterback friendly. Let's get open. Let's get out. And actually, I'm going to show you a little bit after the catch as well, right? I don't think this is the most dynamic athlete that we've seen, right? Definitely not today. But I like to see that he can get open this way. Again, it's not always about those sharp routes and those crisp routes. Sometimes that actually sells the cornerback and tells you what he's doing too quickly. Instead, let's make a nice little rounded route. He doesn't know if I'm going deep. He doesn't know if it's going to go to the corner, and I end up going to the sideline. That's a great route. That's a ton of space that you got in separation. And then an arm tackle is never going to bring me down. So I'm going to be able to get another 5-10 yards after the catch. This is what I see him being successful at the next level.
Yeah. If you're going to protect your inside leverage that hard, okay, fine. Thank you. I'll go ahead and take the outside. Remember, take what the defense gives you, not just about quarterbacks. I said it last episode. It's every offensive position on the field. All right. You're going to give me the outside because you've turned your hips now and you're protecting inside leverage here. Fine. Look at this. I'm quarterback friendly and making myself available. And now I'm going to cut back inside, use your momentum against you. And look at that, 15 yards. Sometimes it's just that simple. It's not that complicated.
All right, we're at the next play here. Bottom of your screen, out wide on the line of scrimmage, and we're going to see a bit of burst. And again, like that to me, this is so NFL, right? Like it's that, again, you're my trusted guy. The game's getting late, and I need to just get past the sticks, keep things moving, get out of bounds. Another rounded route, which I like in this situation, gives you space. He doesn't know what to do, and he has to keep respecting deep. He's opened his legs. I'm cutting and I'm beating him, and I get to the sideline. Like that's NFL. That's what teams do. That's what Tom Brady wants every single drive, right? Like that's it.
Yeah, you're noticing the routes are starting to look the same, meaning look at his posture. He doesn't come out of his stance and is like, kind of super low, like chest over toes and really kind of selling vertical and everything. It all looks the same. There's no change in his posture until he's already made his break. it's really hard for a defender to get a read on where you're going if you're not changing your level as a receiver in your route. If everything is just looking the same the entire time until it's too late for the defender, that's really hard to defend. And he's just so adept at that. And this is just another example of that. Just easy 10 yards.
And you see it as well. Like once that cornerback starts to turn his hips, that's when the break gets made. Like watch how seamless it is right there. He sees it's open and now I'm cutting, right? Like it's just perfect. All right. Going to the next play, bottom of your screen at the bottom of the triangle, right? And it's a quick in and then a quick out. That was so smooth, right? I talk about it. Maybe he's not the best athlete, but this shows me he has such good understanding of how to play the wide receiver position and what he needs to do on each route to be successful. It's perfect. It's what you want. Guy guesses, I'm going to beat you outside. And then again, like, can I do a little bit after the catch? Yes, I can. That's awesome to me.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Brandon Finney here, the corner, this looks exactly like you'd expect. You'd expect to be kind of rubbed off here to give him space on the slant. He knows that. So, okay, fine. Nope. Whoops. Never mind. I'm running the whip. Yeah. It doesn't have to be super quick. Again, friendly. He's just so friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Probably as a person too.
What's that?
Probably as a person too. I would assume he's.
Oh yeah, dude. I heard his pickup lines are crazy. All right. So here he goes from motion. Takes a screen. And can he be a good athlete? Can he make space? Can he create for himself? Great blocking, right? It all developed. This Indiana team, like, look at the timing of this play. You talk about coaching. Like, that's perfectly executed to one of your most intelligent receivers, and he takes it upfield, right? Perfect blocking, sees the crease, great blocks, and gets an extra 30 yards out of this play. Like, yeah, a lot to
waste no time. Okay, boom. I see the seam and I'm just going to go for it. Not a 4-3 guy. He gets caught, but waste no time, and that's just as effective.
I think I just showed it from this other angle to kind of show just, again, watching the play develop. You see that space there. He sees it, right? It's immediate, and he just takes it. And he is an athlete. Like, he is an athlete. I've been bashing his athleticism. This guy is an athlete. And then I think this was the last play I picked for this one, Ray. And it was really just, again, like, can I win like an NFL player, right? How many times do you see that in an NFL game? And how well executed is this play? And how is the timing that perfect? It's perfect.
Yeah. And it's not a push off. You don't see his arm extended. I mean, it's just as effective because he's using his body weight and he's using his hands, but he doesn't push off. And going back to kind of that hitch from earlier, that ball to the outside shoulder, he's making the outside available to the quarterback. And this time Mendoza puts it right on the money. This was, I believe, the game-winning touchdown too against Oregon. And it's just big-time players make big-time plays, big-time games. Shout out Santana Moss. Huge fan of Elijah Sarratt.
Yeah, me too, man. And I think that's all I had for him. So just a quick summary from me, like, again, just super interesting prospect in that he already plays like such a pro with so much nuance to his routes. He moves really well to create space without having top speed or top athleticism. He's a plus blocker. I don't know how well that athleticism is going to kind of convert at the NFL level when you're facing man coverage. That's what I worry about, right? But against zone, I think this is a real zone beater kind of player. And I think just intelligence-wise, if he goes to the right situation, this is a real winner, and I really like this player. I definitely have concerns, though, about how well he's going to separate, especially against man. What are your kind of overall thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think he can be your number one. This is a player that the old school Patriots would just love because he doesn't jump off the screen at you as like this sort of superstar talent that just is dominant physically or anything of that sort. But he's just annoyingly good at all the other little things. And you just kind of look up and next thing you know, it's been a 9-play drive where they've converted 3 first downs because, just ho-hum 6-yard routes that were past the sticks. I think he's that type of player. I think he's a very good number 2 receiver in the NFL who's not going to break the game open and get behind the defense and, just kind of win that way. But he's going to be a quarterback's best friend in the NFL. He's going to do all the little things right. He's going to eat up zone coverage. He's just a pro's pro already. I can't say enough about this player. The only negatives are he's not just, super dynamite, number one elite level athleticism type of talent, but everything else he does so well as a wide receiver. He's going to be a starter for a long time as just an extremely quarterback friendly player, in my opinion. This is a player who does everything right. The athleticism concerns are there, and that's why he'll never be sort of the top flight guy or anything like that. But man, he's going to be annoying for the opposing team and opposing defenses because of everything else that you just don't see. Like, you have other receivers to kind of deliver the knockout punch. This guy is just going to jab you over and over and over again, and that's just as effective over time.
Where are we taking this guy, Ray?
I would take him early second round. I would take him in the top half of the second round. The only reason he's not a first rounder for me is because I'm a ceiling chaser, and he doesn't have that ceiling. But at the same time, if you wouldn't have a hard time convincing me that he could go in the first round. I think he's that type of he's just a good player. You're going to draft him, and you're going to get a good player for a very long time.
I was thinking
kind of what this is about, right?
100%, man, 100%. And I was trying to think about to myself and say, who is the last first round receiver that wasn't a great athlete? And I don't know if there has been one in a few years, at least, right? And you think about like a Cooper Kupp, who I remember, right, like broke all the NCAA records for receiving. And I think he ran like a 4.7 or something, and he goes in the third round. And we all know, like basically one of the best receiving years ever Cooper Kupp has had. And I think about that and I say to myself, like, could Elijah Sarratt follow that, where he doesn't end up being a first round pick? Maybe he's late second, early third, but he ends up being like just a phenomenal player for a team. And especially like you think about Cooper Kupp goes to Sean McVay offense. It's like, it doesn't really get better than that. Like with Serat, I would hope something similar, right? He goes to an offense with a coach that knows how to maximize a player like this. If that happens, the ceilings, I think there is a high ceiling.
Yeah, not the theoretical high ceiling that you're used to, but the production is going to be there. He's going to be very productive.
Agreed.